Michael. Michael is a biopic movie about the GOAT, Michael Jackson. And let me tell you this, I probably wouldn't like this movie as much. I probably wouldn't like this movie at all if I didn't like Michael Jackson, if I didn't think Michael Jackson was the GOAT. I don't usually watch biopic movies. The last biopic movie I seen was probably, I don't know, like Temptations or TLC or something. I don't usually like watching biopics because they usually end really sad. Like biopic stories about celebrities are usually always have a sad ending. They're usually always like the saddest stories. And that's what I was like scared of coming into this movie. Like I didn't really have any expectations, but I did expect them to get really, really dark and like go into like the really dark areas and dark side of like Michael's story. And I'm glad they didn't because I honestly didn't want to cry. Like I'm glad they didn't go into like the sad parts and dark parts. Like if they like showed him when he died or whatever, I probably would have cried. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it was a good movie. It was a good movie. If they decided to like go all the way and tell his full story for when like his skin tone started to change and all those things, then it probably would have been like a 5 hour long movie. So I get it. But all in all, it was I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Mostly because Michael's the GOAT and I love his music. He's the biggest inspiration ever. But one thing I will have to say, Jafar Jackson, I don't know. I didn't like sometimes he didn't really look like Michael to me. Sometimes he looked kind of creepy. Other times he did favor him. Like if the shots wasn't like if they were like zoomed out shots or like certain lighting or certain camera angles, then yeah, he does look like Michael Jackson and he can get away with it. But when you get up close to him or when he doesn't have on like makeup, especially in like the first part of the film, he just didn't really look like Michael Jackson. And I know it's hard. Of course, you're not gonna find somebody that favors him. So I guess his nephew was the closest they could get. His voice was on point. You know what I'm saying? His voice was good. It was cool. Also, I could never really tell if like I don't want to like I don't know judge too much or say too much because I couldn't really tell if it was voiceovers or actors half the time. Like when they were singing or even when like they were talking some of the times, like I don't know, and I can't really tell if it's a voiceover or if the actor is the one that's actually doing it. Because sometimes when the singing, I don't know, to me, in my opinion, sometimes the singing was off to me. Like to me, just to me. Like sometimes like certain notes that they were hit or certain notes that they were trying to hit, it just didn't sound right to me. And that's just to me. It's one song and performance in particular that I just was not really rocking with. That's the Human Nature performance. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just a hot take, popular opinion. I don't know, but I didn't like that performance. I didn't think that Human Nature performance was good, and it was towards the end, and I really thought that was the last performance, and I'm glad that it wasn't because it just was not. I don't know. I just was not feeling that performance. Not the day. I thought the dancing was kind of cringe or weird. His acting, I don't know. It was just weird. That Human Nature performance was just not it. It was just not it. I'm sorry. It was just not it. The best performance was easily the last one. It was easily the last one. I'm kind of sad that like that some songs that they played, they only played like a little bit of it, like the ending part, like Thriller and Beat It. I was kind of sad that they didn't actually play those full songs, or we didn't actually see him perform those songs. It kind of was like it made me believe that they didn't have the rights to the music or something. Even though I believe that this movie was like produced by Michael's people, Michael's team, so that was just kind of weird to me. But yeah, it wasn't necessarily what I expected. It was a good story. Like it was like I was not expecting like a good biopic film where it shows the artist, you know what I'm saying, at the top doing good and you know what I'm saying, painting a good picture, paint them in a good light. Like I've never seen that, and it's Michael Jackson. You know what happened with Michael Jackson and how a lot of people feel about him, especially towards the end of his career. So I was expecting it to get really, really dark and really, really sad. And I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, so I'm glad they didn't do that. But all in all, it was a decent movie, decent movie. Michael's the GOAT. So, but like being non-biased, what would I rate it? Just strictly off of the performances and songs. Trying not to be biased because I love Michael Jackson. I don't know. It's nothing crazy. Like it's nothing like it's a biopic film. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. Too, you know. I'd rate it maybe a 6 out of 10. I did like it though, mostly because, like I said, I'm a Michael Jackson fan, so I rated 6 out of 10. It was nothing crazy, nothing special, but you know. And one more thing, like the way that they like portrayed Joe Jackson, like I don't know, like people like to talk. I don't know much about him, but every time people talk about him, they say that he was crazy or abusive. But it's like, bro, I'm sorry, but them dudes, they just got whoopings. Like we just see them get whoopings. I didn't see him like slap him or punch him. You know, like they was talking about Joe Jackson like he was Ike Turner. I was expecting him to stole off on Neil Long or something. You know, I was expecting Neil Long to catch a 2-piece or something, but she didn't. You know, he was just whooping them. Yeah, he was a bit too hard on them, and they were kids and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, if he didn't do it, he did. Would we get Michael Jackson? If Joe Jackson didn't do what he did, not saying it was right, but if he didn't go as hard as he did, would we get a Jackson 5? Would we get the Michael that we got? I think because Michael was getting as pushed as hard as he did, and you know, he was getting the treatment that he did, he became what he became. So when they were like, oh, nah, you gotta thank Michael. We wouldn't have any of this without Michael. And yeah, a part of that, the second part of that is true, but we can't act like they didn't become that because of Joe. Like if it wasn't for Joe, Michael would have never. They wouldn't even be in the position. You know, like I get it, bro. I get it, but like they really like I don't know. I'm not on board of that. Because I did get whoopings as a kid. I don't see it as abuse. Like he wasn't slapping palms, open palms, slapping backhand, slapping 2-piece biscuit. Like he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He like they. I don't know. I don't know. But he didn't. Maybe they didn't put it in the movie. But he wasn't kicking, throwing people around. He was just whooping them and being a little bit hard on them because he wanted them to be great. That's it. He just wanted them to be great. And what happened? They became great. But he don't get a little bit of credit because he was a little mean. Okay. He.